And this is nowhere near what it normally looks like at 5 o'clock on a Friday, but that, of course, is exactly what officials are wanting. They are still urging people to stay off the roads.
You know, what happened here today can really only be described like something out of a movie. It was something nobody expected. It's definitely just an unbelievable unfolding of events. And when Arsenault was taken away earlier today in the ambulance, a lot of neighbors and passersby, people along the streets all gathered to cheer her and wish her well.
All morning long, there has been just a steady flow of traffic along I-10 here at Louisiana Avenue and I-10. But while the air quality worries have lifted around the site, it's what's been found in the water that's now causing concern. Police about 30 minutes ago just opened up the big Morgan City Bridge, of course, Highway US 90. It's been closed since yesterday afternoon. DOTD has announced that all overpasses in St. Mary Parish are now closed due to the icy conditions. In just a few hours, the evidentiary hearing will begin here at the parish courthouse against Brandon Laverne. The conditions out here are actually not too bad. However, the wind is slowly picking up. When both congressmen showed up, they seemed very friendly and eager to start this anticipated debate and get the show on the road. And there's a number of different reasons for owning certain kinds of snakes. This one, Victoria, was just featured in the TV series American Horror Story Coven. Police say they go around at night checking for unlocked door handles, looking for that lucky break. These are golden Bengal tigers, and they are the largest and most rare of all cats, and these two are the only ones in the state of Louisiana. And this was the point of entry. This window was shattered, and a large bookshelf on the other side had to be pushed over in order to get in. And across town, the Valentine's Day love continued. We stopped by Camelot of Broussard to meet one couple who has spent this holiday together for 6 decades. The new device will cut down on an extra 2 to 3 steps, which can often be costly. That means no more mailing out positive tests all the way to California for positive confirmation. This for sale sign in the front yard of Chief Mizzy's home has created a lot of buzz around town, and the rescue group's networking opportunities are endless. This dog, Jenny, was just pulled from Vermilion Animal Control and will soon be on a flight to a new home in Seattle. It is really important to have a tinted pair of glasses to give you the full protection from the sun's glare. Take this parking meter, for example. It's plain, there's nothing particularly special about it, but what if it could be transformed into a work of art? Creativity is definitely welcomed as far as the pickup trucks go, but when it comes to a tire, it's best to keep it PG and family friendly. Health experts say avoid using hydrogen peroxide or alcohol, which can actually break down the skin's tissue and make an infection worse. Just a few acres behind the stables is what people are calling the graveyard. As you can see, there are bones scattered everywhere from what looks to be horse remains. And if you look right here, this is a skeleton of a horse, and there's actually a halter still attached around its mouth. And this is just one of the birds that was found dead over the weekend. It was found off Beaupre Road between Pinhook and 90, and it was in the same area last week that a bird did test positive for West Nile.
I feel that justice has prevailed. You know, we always worry in every criminal case that justice delayed may be justice denied.
Assistant District Attorney Keith Stutz read the statement Laverne signed, detailing the events leading up to the deaths of Mickey Shunick and Lisa Pate. It was clear from the statement Mickey fought for her life, severely wounding Laverne in the process.
Much of what she did to the defendant, leaving the injuries that she did, led in large part to us being here today.
And the Shunick family stood strong during the hearing while they listened to the graphic details of what happened to Mickey. They said they were involved in the plea deal for Laverne in exchange for the one thing they really wanted.
The DA met with us a week ago or so and, discussed this, and before I could say a word when he brought this on the table, Nat says, I want the body found now. Yeah. And that's what we wanted to happen.
Well, it's been, from the beginning, it's been find Mickey, bring Mickey home. So she's been found. She's not home yet, but they're saying maybe next week. So
Laverne's defense attorney said the plea deal was Laverne's idea.
He approached us several weeks ago wanting to relieve himself of this burden and relieve the pressure on the Shunick family.
And much pressure has been relieved, although their wounds may never heal. But the Shuniks are pleased they found their daughter almost 3 months to the day.
I don't know if there'll ever be complete closure on this thing, but I feel relieved after today. I mean,
I'm sure us and the Pates, I'm sure, are all relieved. It's been 13 years for them. I don't know how they could bear it.
The marks Mickey left on Laverne ultimately tied him to the crime. Family and friends were not surprised to learn she fought to the end. After all, she was named Mighty Mick at a young age.
She put up one hell of a fight, and I couldn't be more proud of her for that.
The Lafayette Parish Coroner says they will be releasing Mickey's body to her family on Monday. The Shunik family says they're still making arrangements to finally put their daughter to rest.
Tamika Amos has been renting a stable for about a year and says the conditions within the barn have only become worse. She says among the many issues, the landlord keeps raising rent, which is only contributing to the problems.
Some people can't get in to feed them because she'll put a lock on the stall when the rent isn't paid up.
The landlord said it's the owner's responsibility to take care of the animals, but declined to comment any further. But besides the conditions of the animals, Amos showed us another area of concern.
Well, just a few acres behind the stables is what people are calling the graveyard. As you can see, there are bones scattered everywhere from what looks to be horse remains. And if you look right here, this is a skeleton of a horse, and there's actually a halter still attached around its mouth. TV10 filed a complaint with the St. Landry Parish Animal Control, which prompted officers to check out the situation for themselves. After a lengthy assessment, they decided to take action.
Basically, the whole area needs to be cleaned up. There's debris everywhere that the animals can become injured on, several animals without water. So at this point, the really bad off animals we're going to take.
Many of the animals had no food, no water, and were standing in their own excrement. Some had open wounds that were left untreated. Animal Control will take the ones in the worst conditions to an undisclosed location and will set a cruelty bond.
The other ones, we're going to issue warning notices for the owners to come into compliance, and also the property owner to come into compliance with cleaning up the place and making it more animal friendly.
Caroline Balchunas for TV10 Eyewitness News. There's a lot of hazards that go along with working on an offshore oil rig, and the journey going to and from the rig can be just as dangerous. The helicopter ride requires extensive training as well. It's a type of conditioning for the worst-case scenario.
Water up the nose, disorientation. But where's that window corner? Where's that door handle? Where's that seatbelt? Where's the surface?
Terry Crownover, the director of training for the Marine Survival Training Center, says the program is in its 24th year. So just how real is this simulator? They put me to the test. All right, I'm going to change into my oil-filled coveralls. This is a requirement for the simulator since the weight really changes your agility and movement underwater. We didn't dive in the simulation right off the bat. It began with a swim test, flotation techniques, and how to survive rough at-sea conditions. After a few total submersion run-throughs, a couple inverted trials, it seems Crownover was right about the disorientation.
Probably at the most be 8 to 10 seconds, but when you come to the surface, you'll swear that you've been there 3 minutes.
And he wasn't kidding. Adrenaline kicks in as soon as your feet touch the water. Crownover says although the simulation is only a fraction of how a real-life scenario would play out, over the years, it's proven effective.
One of the perks of being the instructor over here is when somebody comes back and says, I'm here from what I learned at school. We've had success stories.
I survived my first Marine training, and although I now have a mental map, I can only hope I'll never actually have to use it. Caroline Balchunas, KLFY Multimedia News.